Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the third episode of The Shittening, where we take a crap case and turn it into a modern looking gaming PC full of RGB and other glory. So without further ado, roll the intro and let's get into the video. Before I go anywhere, I just want to quickly note this out again. I know it's getting annoying, but if you aren't subscribed, please go down there, hit that subscribe button and make me happy, because I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year. And if you could, raise that 300 to 1,000, I would really appreciate it. Just warning it. So without further ado, let's actually get into the video. Now today's video is all about mounting a GPU vertically. Now I've seen other videos do it, and I've seen other people who have done really bad modding, and I've seen other people who've done really clean mods as well. Some of them haven't been intrusive to the case and haven't destroyed its integrity at all, while others have indeed gone ahead and completely destroyed the case. Now in my case, I'm gonna go ahead and destroy the case, because even aftermarket mods which are made by companies for your case do indeed require you to actually break off parts of your case, which will mainly be the PCI brackets in the back. Now the thing is, the PCI brackets aren't really used for anything rather than just covering the spaces between the brackets. That's genuinely it. And even if they get destroyed, at the end of the day, you can still plonk your card in and plug stuff into. Now, I've tried my best at filing them down, making them look good, but the case is a bit too flimsy and they just end up not looking good at all. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do. But we'll leave them like this for now. Worst comes to worst, I can always cut them down in the future when we actually go ahead and spray paint this case and finally complete it with all the RGB glory. So, as for that, the GPU is in sturdy. It's a bit crooked, unfortunately, but other than that, it's actually a pretty decent mod. Now, the way that I've tackled it is I've both used the little insert at the top of the case, where it's like space where I can actually put the top angle of a bracket of a graphics card. So this part right here can actually hook onto the top, and then I'm gonna have this part here, which are graphics card of duals. We're gonna have basically the little pivot point inside. They're actually getting locked in by an actual screw using another just bracket from just a random case. Now this method has been it's probably the first method I've ever seen anyone do it in, and I have to admit, not only does the GPU look good, it also fits in with the case. It's quite square, it's not too bad looking, and it's not so far forward that the GPU doesn't have any air, which in my opinion also looks really weird. We're used to GPUs being inside the PC, not right outside, so having the GPU placed outside like that is kind of weird, so I like to put it inside, and I have to admit, it looks good. Like that's where the GPU would be either way. That's where it should be, with minus the space in the back. But other than that, I mean, the GPU doesn't really look good. So how did I go ahead and do this? Now the first step, of course, was to figure out where I had to cut and when I have to actually allow the GPU. So I figured that out by just taking off the bracket of the GPU and just placing it on top of the little 90-degree angle that's formed on top of there, and I went ahead with a permanent marker and just went around the edges to figure out where it was. Once I did that, I simply went ahead and actually cut out the spaces required, and then I decided to drill the hole on top. Once I did that, I went ahead and actually drilled the top of the hole for where the GPU mounts on the top. That was really fucking painful. I took forever to cut it, and what you see now is just the end of it. But holy shit, it took me forever, because it's such in a weird spot. You couldn't get your fucking drill in there to actually drill it out. It was either on the angle or this, and then when I was finally able to maintain my drill inside on the pivot point, on the cut where I want, on the where you want to drill it, it just kept going left for right. It went everywhere. I don't have one of those center punch hole, unfortunately. I don't. I drilled in the wrong place. So then the GPU was too far back, and basically if I would try and drill like that, I would have to further bend the actual PCB, the graphics card bracket further back, and that just wasn't going to happen. So I had to re-drill a hole which was really close to the other hole, but fortunately it's not close enough that you can actually see it once the GPU is actually on it. So that's a really good point. I'm lucky that happened, but I had to do 2 fucking holes instead of 1, which is really fucking annoying. Now, next part to tackle was, where was the GPU actually gonna hold on to? I don't want the GPU to just flop around on the bottom side. I want it to actually be held in by something else. So the idea behind it was to actually grab just a spare PCI cover bracket, which comes with in most cases, and just plonk it there, cut a hole through it, and then just make it stick through the GPU. And that worked out pretty well. So I just marked it out, cut it through, and I was able to put, your standard M3, M2, what thread are they? Your usual case screws. Now the idea behind it was to not use those metal screws that have been using, those golden ones. The idea was to actually use proper M3 screws because I wanted this to be somewhat serviceable, and then, you know, and people could just replace the screws if something happened or whatnot. I didn't want to use some weird ass screws that you can only find at Bunnings. I wanted to find screws that you could actually buy on eBay, for example, or at a PC parts shop. So that worked out well. The top one is a thumb screw and the bottom one is just, you know, normal screw. The idea behind this bottom screw is to actually just unscrew it a bit, then plonk the graphics card in, screw the top in, and then screw the bottom one in. And well, the end result looks pretty damn good. I mean, I made it sound easy on camera, but holy crap, it took me forever. The cuts and the drilling just took forever. I mean, I also chose a pretty strong like bottom rack. I could choose another flimsy one, but that one was really nice and sturdy. It was like, what, good 2-3 mils of just steel. So it's sturdy and it will definitely hold the bottom of the graphics card in. Now, once I go ahead and actually do the PSU bracket, like the PSU shroud, I'm also gonna buy one of those like plexiglass little graphics card, like extenders thingies that help with the GPU sag. Unfortunately, holding the graphics up by just one side is just not good. You're probably gonna end up damaging either the DVI connections or HDMI connections, and that's genuinely the only place where the graphics card is actually connected. The PCI does nothing, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to buy one of those and just, you know, crank it up to the correct setting, just, you know, hold it in. Because, well, you want your computer to last and not, you know, physically break. So yeah, so other than that, I mean, the graphics card looks absolutely great. I really cannot complain. It's a bit crooked to the right, unfortunately, but like I already said, we're gonna buy one of those height adjuster thingies for GPU sag, and we should be pretty much good to go. I mean, you can also put, you know, RGB and all that other good stuff, but yeah, it looks pretty damn good, and I'm quite happy as how it turned out. Yeah, I really hope that once I put the RGB and acrylic piece and all, you know, all the other stuff, it will hopefully look really good. So thank you for having watched. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time for episode 4, which will very likely be me cutting the PSU shroud. So without further ado, I'll see you then.